Hello, I'm Shauna White, relationship coach for spiritually awake couples. And today's topic is about communication dynamics and how two people who want to be together and want to work it out, what could be standing in their way? Because some people want to work it out and they still feel like they can't. I think that's sad because it's unnecessary. So I did a survey not too long ago, and that survey is a relationship survey. And one of the questions was, what do you see needs to be improved in your relationship? The top two answers, neck and neck, were communication and understanding each other. And then a close follow was resolving conflicts, and then followed by feeling connection and intimacy. And what's so interesting about these answers is that feeling connection and intimacy and resolving conflicts all depend on communication and understanding each other. So the way that the results came out themselves tell a story or a truth about how things work with feeling connected with each other and how important communication is to that. So So the bottom line, I want to go like high level bottom line with this topic because there's so much to explore in communication, and it's in some ways it's very unique to each situation and to each of the two individuals. But at a high level, people want to feel connected, and they want to feel connected with their partner, right? And they want to feel like they can be themselves at the same time. And the biggest struggle at a very high level in relationship is this push and pull between self and other. How do I merge with somebody? How do I feel that deep energetic connection? How do I share my life with somebody and yet also feel like I can be myself? And where at the intersection of communication, where this goes awry is again, it kind of comes back to needs. When one partner is communicating to the other what they feel like they want in order to feel connected, the receiving partner can feel controlled by that information coming at them and then reply from a space of trying to push back against the control. And so now we have the anatomy of a misunderstanding. One person is just trying to communicate for the purposes of developing connection, but the way that they're communicating is accidentally applying pressure to their partner. And then their partner is responding to the pressure. And the first partner feels rejected or feels, yeah, I think rejected is probably the best word. They don't realize what's going on underneath the surface. They don't understand. And the other partner is feeling like, I don't want to be stuck in that kind of a box. I just want to be myself. Can't you love me for the way I am instead of, do I have to perform for you in order for you to love me? So this is the nature of misunderstanding at a high level. And it's interesting because people don't do it on purpose. It really happens by accident and they don't even see it. And there's a deep spiritual, psychological reason why they don't see it. If people share what they want and what they need, they feel like they're just being honest and just being themselves. And yet, that has a way of putting pressure on their partner through the communication. And in fact, I just read a post by somebody who was really racking her mind about this particular thing, about how she just feels she needs to feel like she can be honest. This is even not even in a partnership relationship. This was in a relationship with her therapist. She's like, I feel like I need to be honest about the emotions that are coming up and the internal experience that she is in a process of sorting out to find how to be herself. But she's afraid she's going to be too much for her therapist. So again, here's this same model of the source of the breakdown of communication. Someone is trying to be honestly themselves, but the way that they see how to go about it, the way that feels natural from how they're sitting inside themselves, is applying pressure. And it's up to her therapist to hold a space for her, because that's the kind of relationship they have. But when it comes to a partnership relationship, everything changes when you can find how to communicate without applying pressure. And that starts with rebalancing how you rest in your own self-awareness. A lot of the things that we feel like we need come from the way that we sit in ourselves. And I was just working with someone earlier today who is finding how to rest in herself differently. And she was sharing how she feels more connected with her partner. And even though it's like the things that she thought were missing are not missing now, because she shifted to a place where she can feel more even keel in herself and not push for things. But this not pushing is not about denial of what you need. It's a shift into flow. And when you let go of what you need and you shift into flow and balance in yourself, it takes the pressure out of the communication with your partner, shifts to also some of the skills that I'm helping her with are shifting to a different perspective that allows more understanding. So the communication is shifting. The pressure's coming out of the communication, and there's more understanding that she's experiencing in how she flows with her partner, and everything is falling into place. So it's not about like communication techniques. It's not about like when my partner says something, then I say back to them what they said so that they know that I understood, or they could correct me if I didn't understand. And I'm not saying that that's not helpful. That's certainly a helpful technique under certain circumstances. But when it comes to taking pressure out of the communication so that you can start to experience flow and intimacy together again, it's not about what you say and what you do. It's about your energy. It's about your inner balance, because what's going on inside you gets carried on the word choices that you make, the tone of your voice, and just the energy. That you can't hide energy. Everyone can feel it, even if they don't know that they're feeling it. So when it comes to rebalancing communication in an intimate partnership relationship, this is why I focus with people on their inner balance and their energy. And yes, it's important to look at certain concrete dynamics, which are going to be unique to everybody's situation. Like some people do need to reframe kind of the way that they're looking at the more coarse things about a situation. For instance, I got to think about an example now. Well, for instance, perhaps somebody's partner says, I don't like when you do that. And so maybe they could say it differently. Or you do this. When you do this, oh, I know one. Here's an example. Someone asked a question. What did she do to make you feel that way? Okay, that's a coarse thing. It needs a reframe, because the principle is no one can make you feel any particular way. Someone can say something, and yeah, maybe what they said is not quite right, In other words, could be improved, that maybe they're projecting blame onto somebody else the way that they're saying it, but nonetheless, the way you feel in response to that is still your own choice. So that's like a coarser level of let's reframe the language so that we are taking responsibility for how we feel. That's a more coarse thing, and those things are helpful and appropriate. But the magic really happens when you rebalance inside yourself and into a place of alignment and peace, which there are specific techniques that I recommend for that. And then you find flow and you follow flow with your partner. Changes the energy underneath the communication or the energy that is inside the communication. And that's where all the transformation comes from. So, so those are my thoughts about communication dynamics in relationship. And if you have any thoughts about that, please share in the comments or send me a private message. And I will look forward to whatever you have to share. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.